Sunny, beautiful day. We're being recorded. Let's get some cameras on. Come on. We always ask more cameras. We have ours on. You got to put yours on. I don't care if your hair looks crazy. I think you look beautiful. So let's be grateful for our sunshine today and the wonderful weather we're going to have this week. It's going to be record-breaking temperatures again, and keep all of the families, everybody down south in your prayers, affected by the horrible tornadoes. It's one of the worst tornado disasters in our country's history. So please keep them all in your prayers. And I'm sure we'll hear something from KW Cares about that any day now. They'll be there, they're on top of it, and I'm sure we'll hear where we stand with that. So Tammie Tuesday. I love my Tammie Tuesday. What you got for us, Tammie?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. So I was listening to, I was looking at Redfin's weekly data for, predicting what's coming up and all that kind of stuff. So some fun facts that I love to share, because you guys know I love to geek out on my data. There are 128 million households in the US. Of those 128, 563 went under contract this year. You know what? I might have some of that wrong. Let me do it this way. There's one listing. This is the important part. They're projecting for 2022, one house for every 22 buyers this coming market. One house, 22 people. So you guys thought it was slowing down? It's about to get crazy. So now people have kind of smartened up to this. Buyers are becoming a little more savvy. Couple things to keep in mind. Interest rates are not going to be in the twos. So your people who think the rates are going to be in the twos, they're not. We're probably going to be somewhere between like 3.5. We're probably going to be somewhere around 3.5. They're projecting even up to 4. Who knows? It's a speculation. It's a projection, but the bottom line is 3.5 or 4 is still fantastic. But when they have a mindset thinking they're going to get a 2 in front of that number, so we might need to manage their expectations a little bit. So what are some of the things that you can do to make sure your buyers stand out? A lot of you are doing this already, and some of you are not. You need to have a strong pre-approval. And I'm not talking, let me just use the pre-approval from my bank and then I'll switch lenders in between the process. That is not going to fly in this market, this coming spring market. They need to have a pre-approval letter. They need to go through underwriting. They need to be ready. We need to have strategies in place. Does your lender know how to do an appraisal gap strategy? I've spent a long time, I've spent the whole year mastering the appraisal gap strategy. Does their lender, if you're going to let them pick their lender, which I think is crazy, just side note, if you're going to let them pick their lender, are you on the phone with that lender and explaining to that lender that they need to have a strategy in place? Does your buyer understand what will happen if that price comes in $50,000 under? That was the highest one I had this year. I think it was 50. It was 30 or 50, somewhere around there. It was really a lot. It was between $30,000 or $50,000 under. We closed it, and my buyer did not pay one more penny out of pocket, and they actually got a better interest rate. Kind of crazy. Lease backs. So maybe you can get the listing, but then your buyers are like, well, where am I going to go? What if they do a lease back and they stay in the house for a month? Remember, when there's a closing date, so if they close in December, their first payment is not due until February 1st. So there's a little bit of time before they have to make that first mortgage payment. Also keep that in mind with your people who are free to break leases. They've got 60 days before they have to make their first payment, depending on when they close. Breaking a lease, I hear a lot, well, I don't want to break my lease because I'm going to get penalized. Work that into the strategy somehow so that they can break their lease and they can understand breaking their lease. So then I interviewed Jay Fletch last year on my 13-week CMA a day challenge. He did 207 listings in 13 weeks using this dream book strategy. You guys are all working on calling your database. James Shaw has you all calling your database. Call your database and ask them, if money were no object, what would your dream house look like? Because I'll tell you, ever since he said that to me, my dream house, my husband and I both have separate office space. And now instead of looking at the beach, I'm literally on the beach. That's my next dream house. So you know what? Every once in a while, an agent will send me that dream house somewhere around here and just be like, oh, interesting. And I'll run the numbers. If your buyers are interested, they will find a way to make it work. So don't prejudge anybody. And then as your lender, I'm in the trenches with you guys. I'm really refining my pre-approval strategies, refining my rent versus own strategies, refining my should I wait, refining my how high above ask should I go. You need to be working with lenders who are partners with you, not just someone who can spit out a pre-approval letter. All right, I'm out of time. I can feel the gong coming. Sorry, Rick. Sorry, Steve.
Don't want to gong you, Tammie. Never want to gong you. Always great stuff from Tammie. Seriously, and you know what we have. Can you mute? What we have to do is with one house to 22 buyers, the fuel for the fire is listings, guys. Listings, listings, listings. Thanks, Tammie. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, a bunch of announcements. Get through them kind of quickly. Today, 9:30, Business Builders in Debbie Orr's Zoom room. Business Builders continues today. Also today, Command Contacts, most fundamental part of Command at 11:30. And at 2 o'clock today, we have Command Mobile. Command in your hands, guys. So we got to pay attention to that. So today with Joe McHugh at 2 o'clock. Next week is Mastermind Week. Yeah, next week is Christmas week, the holidays, but it's also Mastermind Week. So Monday, get your pens out. Monday at 1 o'clock, we have the Capper Mastermind. Monday at 2 o'clock, we have the Rainmaker Mastermind. Tuesday at 1 o'clock, Tuesday, 1 o'clock in this Zoom room, all agent mastermind. Get on there and do your Christmas week masterminding Tuesday, 1 o'clock. And another reminder, always a reminder for our holiday party. We're so excited to have a get together with everybody January 13th. You have emails to RSVP. We absolutely need RSVP. It is required, guys. 120 are coming so far. 120. That's awesome. Yes. I know so many more of you are coming. So please give us your RSVPs. Find that email and take care of that right away. Family reunion. Can't say enough about family reunion. Debbie Orr, I like the red hat. Family reunion. The best, biggest real estate convention on the planet. Keller Williams Family Reunion, February in Orlando, Florida, and it's virtual as well. We have about a couple dozen of you already signed up to go to Orlando. So excited. We're going to do all of our usual stuff in Family Reunion. We take everybody out to a big gala dinner and we get together for our masterminds as well as going to all the classes and all the great networking that happens at Family Reunion. Go to, got your pen still? You should have your pen still, familyreunion.kw.com. familyreunion.kw.com. Go to that website, check it all out and register. You will not regret it. Okay, move on to our spotlight. We're going to talk about profit share. We're excited. We're going to review some of our October numbers. November, we're a little bit behind. We're sorry about that, but we're a little bit late getting to October numbers because November numbers come out next week. How exciting is that? So we're reviewing October numbers. And I do want to comment, you know, we are KW203, but as an aside, an individual accomplishment for the Stanford Market Center. The Stanford Market Center is about to crest $1 million profit shared this year. That is so phenomenal, guys. So proud of everybody. And so many of you are receiving that $1 million, a piece of that $1 million. It's fantastic. And I know you love the 21st of every month. So we want to talk about that a little bit. We have a guest with us today. I'm going to turn this over to Carlos. Carlos, why don't you introduce our guest? Can't wait to hear what Julia has to say.
So I want to give a warm welcome to Julia Presta. Julia ended up reaching out to me. She works out of the Woodbury, Long Island office. And since the first month she reached out to me, she has brought a new agent, I think every single month, onto her downline from our specific market center. She has 55 agents in her first line, and she started getting serious about profit share in February alone. So Steve, who's the best interviewer, I'm just giving her the warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Julia Presta.
Yeah. Julia,
hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Thrilled to have you. And let's just repeat that real quick. 55 in your first line. Is that right, Julia?
That's correct. Yes.
And you've been doing this really seriously since when?
February.
Incredible. February of this year.
Yes.
Now tell us about your role in KW, Julia, and what you have going on too.
Yeah, so I am the director of technology and marketing. My OP owns 6 locations. So I oversee the technology and marketing department, but I work specifically out of the Woodbury, Long Island location. So I'm the market center tech trainer for the location and do a little bit of recruiting for all of the offices.
That's awesome. That's really fantastic. So what inspired you to dive into this and really time block and make an effort to build your downline?
Yeah, what really inspired me was the Profit Share Mastermind group on Facebook. So if you are not a part of that group, I recommend getting in there today. People are throwing crazy numbers up there, like earning $100,000 a month in profit share. So just seeing people posting how much they're making really inspired me to time block for this and really take a piece of the pie.
Yeah, it's awesome. So tell us about that profit share. That Facebook group again, Julia. What is it?
Yeah, so the Facebook group is called Profit Share Mastermind. I believe Aaron Kaufman is the owner of it, runs it.
Right.
So you just have to answer a few questions to get into it, like what's your market center number? Are you with Keller Williams? And then you're in there. And it posts about every single day there's something going off. But like Stephen touched upon, around the 21st of the month is when people will really screenshot how much they earned this month and put it into the group. So I find really that is when I get like re-inspired every single month. So I highly recommend, recruiting or not, to be in that group, because you will see how much it is possible for you in this company to make.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're director of technology and marketing for a bunch of market centers. So how do you go about this? How are you finding people to be in your downline?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways. For me, the best source so far has been Indeed advertisements. I have not paid for an Indeed account, so everything I'm doing so far is free with Indeed. So I time block. Typically, the second I walk in the office for the first half hour, I'm seeing if anybody new applied to the Indeed advertisements. So I focus on a couple different market center areas. So I love KW Stanford. I find that Stephen and Carlos are very responsive, and really, I thank you guys so much. So I will pin drop a couple locations. So for me, I focus on market centers that are very profitable. So just like Stephen touched upon, $1 million, which is amazing. So as people apply, I ask them if they're licensed. I send them locations near them. So I use the referral section of Command to see what locations are near them based on their zip code. Once they tell me what location is best for them, I'll use White Pages, get the TL or the ATL's information, and then I connect them via email.
Awesome.
So in the morning, I'm really just focusing on seeing if anybody applied. And then what I'll do is I have a spreadsheet where I can see who's interviewing today or who interviewed yesterday. And that's where I'll really send my follow-up emails, my follow-up texts, because I want to stay top of mind. So even though I connect them to Stephen and Carlos, I still will check in on the recruit and say, how are you doing? How did the interview go? And really push things along the process. And I see a question in the chat box. What does your ad say? So I pulled the text for the ad off of careers.kw.com. So I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm not making the description. It's really just on the site. So if you haven't been on careers.kw.com, I recommend going there as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're amazing with follow-up, Julia. You're really phenomenal, because that's key, guys. And hear what Julia's doing, right? She's amazing. Her world is technology and marketing for these market centers. And you guys are agents. You're the agents. You're out there interacting with everybody and building these relationships. It's a whole lot easier for you, right? You have that warm contact, that warm relationship already. So guys, let's get some more referrals going. And any questions you might have, Julia, could you put your contact info if somebody didn't do it already?
Sure.
Chat.
Put my email in there. And then, so Indeed has been working for me a lot, as well as even just Instagram. I will, when we get our training calendar, our classes are open to any agent from any brokerage. So I will spend about a half hour a week just DMing agents, the training calendar. And I'll say, hey, if you're interested in any of these classes, let me know. So I've actually picked up agents for my market center through that, showing them the value of our training. Or I know when Bet on Red was coming out, I was time blocking to send that out. So just think about even just DMing a couple agents in your area, seeing if they're interested in learning a little bit more about Keller, or just even taking the classes. Again, coming from contribution, hey, this is an awesome class that my location's providing. I think you'd learn something from it. So that's also helped me as well.
That's huge, 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 guys. Real easy to do. Who got some great tips from Julia? I want to see everybody's hand. Come on, everybody. Oh, yes. Awesome. Well, Julia, I really appreciate your time. Keep sending those referrals our way. They're amazing. We want nothing more but to build your downline. And guys, this is not hard to do. So why don't you think about it today? Today, all the transactions that you have, who do you want Dan, Carlos, or myself to reach out to? Let us know, please. All right, guys, we're going to cut it short because we are running out of time, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks again, Julia.
Thank you, everybody.